Howdy, Dr. Rick here again. This time BMW fix for the 1995 R1100GS. I was just driving along, looked down, the speedometer is at 0. So the cable inside the sheath broke. I guess after all this time, that's not so understandable. Forgive my face and hair, it's very hot and humid here. Anyway, I was worried about what this job might entail, and then I started doing it, and it's really not that bad, but there are a couple of sneaky tricks to do. So first thing is you really can't get around this. You've got to take off the windscreen. Mine is a V Stream, which I've tried a couple, and this is my favorite. It seems to be adjustable for the right height, and now it's 6'2" and lanky, so it pushes the air over my helmet and doesn't bubble my helmet when I'm riding. It's very sturdy, very easy to clean. Anyway, so that thing's off. And then the obvious bolts are these two guys right here. Those come out. And then it still didn't give. So I'm like, what's the thing? And it turns out that there's this rubbery triangle shaped piece in here. And it doesn't come off. I don't know, maybe it's popped on. I'm not gonna mess with that. But it has two little holes here and here that can attach to these two little screws in here. And those two little screws go through, two little bolts go through these two little holes, and then these two little nuts attach to them, 10 millimeters. So 10 millimeters here, there, flop. The whole thing comes open, then you can very easily access the back. I've already removed the old speedometer cable, so this is the threaded in part, and you put one end here, and that's the threaded in part, and I'm gonna screw that in a sec, whatever, that doesn't require a video. But then the place it runs is so easy. It just goes down the fork, through one hole, and then into here, and done. The end of it looks like this. This is the bad one, and it just has a Phillips screw through the end, which, thank goodness, that just fell apart in my hand. the ring that was the Phillips, anyway. So it was time, huh? So one Phillips head screw here, two 10 millimeter bolts here, and whatever it takes to get your fairing off, your windscreen off. I think the other R's are similar to this, but you just gotta take off more plastic stuff. And then I'll see if it works, you know, probably. A couple little nuances with putting those tiny nuts back on the bolts. It's very difficult to reach this. You need these two extenders or a single that's just as long. And I started off by just using the ends without the ratchet. And conveniently, this is a little bit uphill, so you can place the nut in the socket wrench, and the socket holds the nut just right because it has a flange on the end. It keeps it right at the end, so it actually works. But the grip that I used to be able to hold everything together was one thumb inside and push on that rubber mat and hold on to it to squeeze it while I'm getting the first nut on. After the first nut's on and threaded, then the next one is easy because it's already snug, but it's not tight. So then just dropping these guys on and then button it up. I thought this would be fun too, to pull out the cable that's inside the sleeve and see what's in there and see where it's together and where it's not. And well, it broke way down here. So that's gonna be, yeah, right about where that flexion point is, right there. So the other little nubbin is in there. You can see it looks like a slotted screw end on it. It reaches into a little slotted end on the other side, which it found itself. I didn't have to force it to go in there. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride, keeping the old bike going. So, yeah, I hope it's more intuitive for you.